Also watching that debate was a focus group in Minnesota, but they were being watched as well. Participants were being monitored by a facial coding expert to see their reactions at different times during the debate. And that facial coding expert is Dan Hill. He joins me in the studio this morning. I want to also show you all his book. Dan's book is called FaceTime. So there it is right there. See it? FaceTime? Okay. So first of all, facial coding, what is that?
Sure. It is the scientific ability to know how people are feeling based on their facial muscle expressions. And it has two killer facts that explains why it works so well. CIA, FBI uses it. This is why. Even a person born blind has the same facial expressions as you or I.
Really?
It's universal. It's an incredible wow. The second thing, the face is the only place in the body where the muscles attach right to the skin. Very quick, very spontaneous. Doesn't matter whether it's poker players or politicians. We do give away how we're feeling, and the voters in this case in Minnesota did the same thing.
Okay, let's see what they said during this debate on the focus group. They focused on Sarah Palin's folksy nature. Let's take a listen to what they had to say,
Sure.
Dan.
Say it ain't so, Joe. There you go again, pointing backwards again, though. You prefaced your whole comment with the Bush administration. Now, doggone it, let's look ahead and tell Americans what we have to plan to do for them in the future.
Their reactions to that, what'd you say?
Sure. They emoted twice as much to Sarah Palin as they did to Joe Biden. If this debate had been between Biden and, say, Romney, you would not have had 70 million voters. So they connected with her. They woke up to her. On the other hand, when she went really folksy like that, about a third of the group said, I like that. It feels more colloquial, more like you're one of us. The other two-thirds said, no, you're not Ronald Reagan. You don't quite have the same ability to do it in a dignified way that makes me believe you're ready to be vice president.
Okay, let's get to the reaction they had offering up to Senator Joe Biden, one of his comments during the debate. Let's listen to that.
You're going to have to replace a $12,000 plan with a $5,000 check you've just given to the insurance company. I call that the ultimate bridge to nowhere.
Thank you, Senator. Now, I want to get...
Now, that was one of the laugh lines. It did get a general applause. It was very accessible, but many times the voters really weren't turned on to him. What struck me the most from this debate was the level of cynicism still by the voters. They wanted a lot of drama. They got a lot of fact slinging back and forth. We found that for Biden, when he spoke, 1/3 of the people expressed cynicism on their faces watching Biden speak on the air. It was actually half for Palin. So I think the Katie Couric and the Charlie Gibson gaffes, they have really hurt her with voters. They showed it on their face last night, on Thursday night.
There were some smiles and laughs on the faces of this focus group during a different part of the debate. Let's take a listen to that.
Sure.
Yes, Senator McCain
media
does
kind of
support this.
telling
the chant is
viewers
drill,
what they
baby,
just
drill.
heard.
And that's what we hear all across this country in our rallies, because people are so hungry for those domestic sources of energy to be tapped into.
In general, Sarah Palin, the reaction to her, what'd you read?
This really didn't change any votes, and that's the bottom line here, because right now the polls are starting to move away from, her ticket. McCain and Palin. We found out that 10 voters we had, 7 of them were neutral. No one won. Now, the good news for her is, she didn't slip anymore. There was no big gaffes that would cause her to leak even more support. One of the people felt that she won. 2 other people felt folksy, yeah, like that, but too folksy ultimately, and didn't help to take away the doubts that she was really up for the job.
So did you get a sense of a winner versus a loser, or was it a draw?
I think it was largely a draw. Now, I think what she did is she does bring some energy back. I mean, she's the one who started getting the campaign funds to come in, the rallies to get bigger. She stopped the erosion, and that's probably the best thing that happened in this debate for her. Biden, they found as someone who is just a little bit too senatorial. They really couldn't warm up to the guy, but it was obvious he had the knowledge.
Okay. Dan Hill, the author of FaceTime. It is interesting stuff.
Thank you
very
very
much for your read on it. Appreciate that.